Good morning, everybody. It is a smidgen after 10 a.m. I am letting the dogs out so they can get some fresh air and stretch those legs and all that lovely shabil. So, yeah. So it's been a while since I kind of updated you guys with stuff. It is about almost 3:40. So I totally spaced it out to vlog part of the day, honestly. I went into town to pick up a couple things. And I was going to go to Salvation Army to get some plastic tote boxes, but they ended up being closed today on Monday, so that didn't work out. So that's kind of a bummer. And got home, ate some food, but yeah. Now I am currently letting the dogs out so they can move their legs a little bit and go to the bathroom and play and all that lovely shabil. So yeah. So it is a little after 7 and I am letting Missy outside. So it's been a few hours since I last let them out and fed them. So yeah. It is the next day in the morning around like 8:40, letting the dogs out. So it is almost 10:30. I'm letting one out of the two dogs outside since one of them wants to stay inside. So yeah. So I believe that in one of my recent-ish vlogs, the title was like, I've been off and on deciding or something under those lines, like within I would say the last one of the last 5 or 6 vlogs that I posted, talking about I kind of want to get a house and buy one and all that shabil, and briefly talked about it. So I've been occasionally looking at homes on Zillow to overall just to see what's on the market, just out of curiosity. And out of all the houses that were for sale or on the market, there were for sure 3 houses that kind of caught my eye. And of course, you guys know, since I have a baby on the way, I would like to overall buy a home and stop renting if possible. I have nothing against renting or where I'm renting. It's just nice to have a place that I can actually call home, if that makes sense. So a little bit about of the 3 houses, just briefly. House number 1 is $125,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 1 bath. It's kind of a house that needs some remodeling or upgrades. And the things I would like to change or remodel will be the flooring / carpet, the bathroom, and the kitchen, and then add a fence. And all that will be like gradually over time. So you guys know I'm not gonna do it like as soon as it happens. House number 2, it is 237,000. 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, in a great, safe neighborhood. The size of the yard and is great, and about like practically most, if not the whole house in the inside and a little bit in the backyard has been updated or remodeled, which is awesome. And house number 3, it's a little bit more. It's just under 250,000. 4 bedroom, 2 baths. The house is very spacious and has a fenced-in yard, which is awesome. Also in a great neighborhood, and it looks pretty up to date, like within the last like 5 to 10 years up to date, which is awesome. So house 2 and 3 is practically up to date and remodeled or polished, whatever you want to word it. So there's very little to nothing to do with the house compared to house number 1. So yeah. And I just have to pay as much, if not all of my debt, as soon as possible, on top of putting a decent down payment on the homes, and then potentially have a home kind of thing. So yeah. And both my man and I, we both work, but just because how life is right now and everything's just expensive in general, and how much jobs can kind of overall afford to pay the employees, like money's tight kind of thing for everyone. And that's why like I kind of like do certain things, like do photography on the side or YouTube on the side. Hold on, I don't know where I left off. The dogs were about to bark and all of that, but the jobs, both my man and I, our main jobs, it only can get us like so far and just overall pay for the basic needs. And that's why I do like certain side kind of gigs on the side for extra-ish income, and try to make other jobs like photography or social media / YouTube to hopefully try to get those 2 more of my main jobs, you know, if possible, to try to try to get depending on social medias, because there's some social media platforms that are required to, you have to have a certain requirements to make like actual legitimate money. Like you can get money on social media like YouTube or TikTok without those requirements, but it's not as much until you meet those requirements, you know, for example. So the reason why I'm kind of like informing you guys that is because this is why it's kind of important for you to support your favorite content creators and kind of help them to meet certain goals, or do a bunch of little things to kind of support them, you know, to kind of like meet their goals. So yeah. So it's been a while since I last updated with you guys. It is almost, if not already, 4. Just got home from my first official real OB appointment for the baby, and it went really, really amazing. So, and from doing a little bit of grocery shopping, now I'm outside letting the dogs out. So, yeah.